Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thank you for attending this workshop. The speakers today will talk about dental and medical sciences training program in the United States. And the speaker and the moderator of today is Dr. William Dodge, the Dean of Dental School at Texas University, San Antonio. Please welcome with me Dr. Dodge.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to be with you. Over the last couple of days, we've had an opportunity to meet many of you that are in the audience and that are interested in dentistry. For my colleague, Dr. Elaine Nina and I, it's the first time in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it's been a wonderful experience, and I want to thank all of you for your hospitality. I need also to acknowledge the good offices and the coordination that were provided to us by Dr. Summer Al-Sagaf and the Saudi Arabian Cultural Mission, who has really made all of this possible. We have two components to our workshop this afternoon. The first part's going to be on dentistry. We're going to put in a part on the allied health professions, the medical sciences, if you will, and then we're going to finish with a couple of videos about dental programs and dental opportunities in the United States. So my job is to get this started. I have a couple of things that I want to say that pertain to the dental applicants that are sitting in the audience. So here are the participants for dentistry. I'm Bill Dodge from the University of Texas Health Science Center at San Antonio's Dental School. We're also having with us Dr. Noshir Mehta from Tufts University School of Dental Medicine, Dr. Elaine Neenan, my colleague in San Antonio, and Dr. Othman Shibli, who is at the State University of New York at Buffalo's School of Dental Medicine. And we will speak in that sequence with Dr. Shibli coming at the end of the program. Just for your identification, I thought it might be interesting for you to see where we have come from. Dr. Nina and I are down here in San Antonio, in the heart of Texas, if you will. Dr. Shibli comes from Buffalo, New York, which is upstate New York, and Dr. Mehta from Boston University. So these are actually three very different geographical and cultural, for the U.S., culturally different parts of the United States. As an overview in dentistry, these happen to be the advanced training and residency programs that are available at many of the schools in the United States, and most of these programs are available at our three schools represented here. I need to comment for a moment for the potential dental applicants in the audience. The pass is an important thing for you to understand because some of the programs to which you may apply will only accept applications that have come through the pass. If you apply directly to the program, they will not consider your application. So please, when you contact the various programs that you're interested in, make sure you read very carefully the directions. And if it's a pass program, make sure you apply through the pass. The match is another service that aligns the interests, the preferences of the programs with the preferences of the applicants. And again, programs that that participate in the match will only match students to their programs that have also gone through the process. So by all means, pay attention to that. To touch back on the again on the programs that are available, I wanted to make a comment about this earlier, but because I know many of you have expressed interest in oral surgery and prosthodontics and orthodontics, and those happen to be some of the most highly competitive programs in the United States, and the other speakers will comment on sometimes the difficulty there is in getting into these programs. But the highlighted programs here are the programs that participate in PASS. A comment about CODA. CODA is somewhat analogous to the Ministry of Education here in Saudi Arabia. It has oversight responsibility for making sure that all of the dental programs in the United States meet certain standards, and this is very important to ensure the quality of these programs and that the residents that train in those programs get training that meets standards and will allow them to go forward and obtain certification in their specialties. Another issue that really needs to be carefully understood is that CODA, working with the programs, establishes the number of residents that can be accepted into each program. And the speakers that follow will talk about the limits that are on the programs in their particular schools, but they are limited. And again, the reason they're limited is to make sure that the ratio of residents to the faculty, to the staff, to the patient volume, to the resources, the number of treatment rooms or operatories that they have, are such that every one of the residents has an opportunity to get first-rate training. If you have too many residents, you won't be able to get enough attention from the attendings, the faculty, if you will. There won't be enough staff to take care of you, and there may not be the sufficient volume of patients to allow you to get the training that you need to have. So this is very important, and I tell you this because it's not the programs. If they just say we're full, it's not them that's saying we're full. The Commission on Dental Accreditation, or CODA, is who is making that call. I commented on that, and so I'll step over, and at this time, let me turn the microphone over to Dr. Nashir Mehta from Tufts University.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. I'd like to again thank the Ministry of Higher Education for putting on this great program, Dr. Samar Al-Sagaf and Sacm for inviting us and having us here, and my colleagues sitting in the audience today. We hope to see you in colleges and schools and universities in America, because I think that not only would you benefit, but I think we in the United States would benefit from having you there and train with us. The discussion that, so this is Boston. I'm from Tufts University School of Dental Medicine in Boston, Massachusetts. Some of you may have heard some bad things happened there a couple of days ago, but under normal circumstances, Boston is a very beautiful city. As you can see, we have 4 seasons. You got the summer, winter, spring, and fall, and you don't want to be there in winter. Tufts University School of Dental Medicine is the oldest. Actually, it was the second oldest, but Baltimore, which was the oldest school, closed, so now it's the oldest school. It's been around for about 160 years. So we have had a lot of experience in training people in dentistry. And we've always had an international group of people that are there, both our faculty and all of the groups. What I did was I put together, because of the shortage of time, I put together for you all our programs, and you will see them on this sheet that has been handed out. And I'll just quickly go through that here. As you can see, we have advanced education, advanced dental technology, craniomandibular disorders and orofacial pain, endodontics, general practice residencies, implant fellowships, you have oral and maxillofacial surgery, orthodontics, and pediatrics. And as the chairman, Dr. Dodge, said, these are very difficult people to break into, difficult departments to break into, because everybody wants to do that. But we also have periodontology, prosthodontics, which are 3-year programs, and we have Masters of Science in Dental Research, which is a combined 2 years plus 3 years would be 5 years, but we combined the 3 and 2 to make it into a 4-year program where you get a master's and you get the certificate. The certificate in all of our programs require a PASS application, as has been already spoken about. But in addition to that, it allows you to get a certificate that you can sit for board certification, as well as you can get a master's degree at the same time for teaching purposes. So these are some of the other PASS applications: endodontics, general practice residency, orthodontics, perio, prosto, and maxillofacial surgery. There are some other programs also which are internal programs, which are internship programs, which are 1-year fellowship programs for aesthetic dentistry, implant dentistry, and advanced. Also, we have an advanced dental technology program in case those of you who would like to do that. The application is, the requirements are actually how to apply there. I have a website here for you. If you go to the website and you put down dental.tufts.edu, and then you put down postgraduate programs, it'll bring you to the postgraduate pages, and then you can scroll down the pages and see how you would apply. Everything is there for you, so you don't need to really write anything down today. But as you said, we need photographs, official dental school transcripts. We need course-by-course evaluation of the dental school transcripts so that we understand how you do versus what the national groups are. We also have letters of application, and you need evaluation for PASS application, and then you need a personal statement. We like to have an idea of why you want to do your program. If you apply for a certain program, we'd like to know why you want to choose that specialty or choose the program that you're coming into. It helps us make a decision on whether or not this is something that you're just doing because you think you can get in, or is something that you're doing because you really want to get in. What we are concerned about is when we spend time training you, that you either go into education or practice. There are two basic ideas of educating people at Tufts, and some are clinical practitioners, and that's great, and others are educators, and some may be a combination of the two. So that's really what we would like to find out as to what you're going to do. I would like to bring this to your notice. We do need the TOEFL, and at least in the state of Massachusetts, it's important that you get the total TOEFL score of 90, but you also have individual scores that you have to pass. The reason for that is it's not Tufts School of Dental Medicine making that decision, but it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that makes that decision, because they are the ones who are going to give us a limited license for you to be able to see patients when you're at Tufts. And because of that limited license, they have the right to tell us we can or cannot take somebody if you haven't passed the TOEFL scores. So if nothing else that you do before applying, make sure that you have your TOEFLs at least at 90, and with each one of those segments filled up. And you'll see that it's already on your application, so you can see that. Some cases require national board examinations, especially in orthodontics or endodontics. They're strongly encouraged. It'll make your application stronger. Applicants to the master's program are required to submit an essay describing what sort of research they might want to do and why they might want to do something like that. This is the admissions website. You visit the advanced and graduate education page for application deadlines and complete list of requirements. The applications are available June 13th. This is the application cycle, so it's available on June 13th. Aesthetic applicants can apply to April 2013 for 13, and PASS application cycles open May 21st for 2013. This again is all on the website. This is just to give you an example of the numbers of patients, number of Sacm applicants that we've had in a year, 104. We accepted 15 in this particular cycle. Percentage was 14%. Positions in PG programs, we normally have 57 people in all our PG programs in that year. Some years are a little different. As you can see, it was higher here. And this is a position of students who have been taken from the Sacm application. So it's not bad. 26% of applicants from your group is not a bad considering that we have applicants from all over the world. We have accepted students from many different schools in Saudi Arabia, but primarily the majority at this point has been really from KAU, KSU, and Al-Qura. And we work extensively and closely with Sacm. So if you have questions, you call Sacm up and ask them some of the questions. If they have questions of us, we will answer them and answer you too. So that's one of the ways that I think we work very closely together. And I think I would like to now introduce you to, who's next? Are you next, Elaine? To Dr. Elaine Dean from University of Texas, San Antonio. Thank you.
Just push the green? Yes. Oh, the next, got it, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Or say next.
Thank you, good afternoon. I also wanted to join the others in thanking you all for giving us this opportunity to meet with you this afternoon to talk about the advanced dental education programs at the University of Texas Health Science Center Dental School in San Antonio. We have 3 dental schools in San Antonio, we don't, I mean, there are 3 dental schools, and we're in San Antonio. There's another one in Dallas and another one in Houston. It's all part of yours, okay. Okay, and wanted to discuss with you the programs that we have. There are 10 recognized dental specialties in the United States. Of those 10, we have 9. The one we do not have, which I told one of the students, is oral pathology at our institution. But we have the other 9. Some of them, as Dr. Dodge said, you have to apply through the pass match, and some of them you have to apply directly to the department. So I handed out a handout that actually is a table of all the programs that we have, and it lists the residency directors' names and their email addresses and their assistants as well, and it try to give you a starting point. The requirements, they're different on every application, and I have a copy of all the applications with me, and it specifies what perio asks for, what endodontics asks for, what radiology asks for, etc. We have an affiliation agreement with the Cultural Mission, which says we would be willing to accept applicants. Some of our programs don't accept applicants from non-CODA accredited dental schools, and those 2 at our institution are oral surgery and prosthodontics. So the ones participate in the match, as you can see, are the general dentistry, oral surgery, orthodontics, and pediatric dentistry, and the asterisk means they're affiliated with the Cultural Mission. All of our applicants go through the direct programs, but then we also pass that through the Cultural Mission for their approval. And you can see the ones that do not require a match. The application deadlines vary. That's why I specified them in the table for you so that you would know. And you need to apply at least 9 to 11 months in advance of when the program is going to start. Almost all residency programs in the United States start July 1. And in our case, many of the programs require all of the students be there 1 week in advance to do some of the preparatory work. The TOEFL scores, again, the same thing as the other institution. We require original scores from the Educational Testing Service. And you can do them on computer, you can do them paper or internet-based. For the internet-based, the minimal acceptance score varies, and so you would need to contact the individual for the program that you're interested in. The GRE is required for all of our master's degree programs, but it's also required for anybody from a non-CODA accredited institution. And we need official transcripts and a copy of the dental school diploma. The thing I don't have up here is that there's a form in each one of the applications that requires you to list your GPA and your class rank per year, and it has to be signed by your dean and submitted by your dean. Recommendation letters. I think this is really important because very often we get recommendation letters, including from our own students, from other students in the United States, that say to whom it may concern. We are asking you to look on the list and find the residency director's names and have the letter directed specifically to them. And your letters need to identify what your long-term goals are. Do you plan on going into practice in the public sector, private sector, or go into teaching? The interviews, all of the programs require interviews in person, and the dates vary. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure that the other programs have this, but for their advanced education and dental dentistry program, we have a clinical skills test for all students from all over all the programs are from all over the country. And acceptance letters, the timelines are in there. Someone asked me, do you get a letter if you do not get accepted? I don't believe that we do in most cases, but that would be something you might want to ask the residency director. We also have internship programs, and the internship programs were designed, as it states here, to prepare the students to be more competitive applicants for a residency program. They train jointly, it's a one-year program, they train jointly with the residents of the respective program, in this case endodontics and radiology, and the same faculty. The two programs that we have internships now are endodontics and radiology, and you can get the application through the respective disciplines, or you can get them through me from my office. Like I said, they start on cycle just like all of the residents. This is a table of the students, the Saudi students that we have in San Antonio. We started in 2010, as you can see, with 4 residents and 3 interns, and then we went to 6 residents and 4 interns, and right now we have 8 residents and 2 interns, and starting July 1 this year, we'll have 11 residents and 4 interns. And these are the institutions that are represented. King Abdulaziz 4, King Saud 5, King Faisal 2, Must 2, Oust 1, and Riyadh 1. So that's who the students are, will be for the 2013-14 cycle. These are some of the students from the Cultural Mission who are working in San Antonio. Up on the left we have Dr. Hussein Al-Nawi. He is from Pediatric Dentistry Residency Training Program. Dr. Banjar, she will be graduating from the Perio Residency Program. She's doing her boards in periodontics this week, and she will be getting a master's degree in periodontics as well. That's a requirement of the Perio program. Dr. Mohammed Barayan is a radiology resident. He'll be going into his 2nd year in July. Dr. Osta is an endo resident, and he also will be going into the 2nd year of the endo residency this July. And Dr. Al-Sadi is completing the 2nd year of the AEGD resident right now, but he's entering into the oral radiology after this. This is where we are in Texas, where the Caduceus is. And the reason that we have that pullout is that Perio residents, Pros residents all rotate to the border, which is about 2.5 hours to Mexico. But we don't go into Mexico, obviously, but it's a clinic this side of the border. And our students all rotate to all these border areas as well. There's a picture of Dr. Al-Sagaf, who I'm sure you all know, Dr. Farid Al-Wanis. They were visiting San Antonio. San Antonio, like I said, it's in the central part of the state, 1.5 million people, 7th largest city in the U.S., 2.5 hour drive to the Mexican border, large Spanish-speaking population, and unlike a lot of the places that students go, Boston, New York, Chicago, our public transportation consists of buses. So a lot of our students have to have a car, and they have to purchase auto insurance. And this is springtime in Texas now. These are the national flower bluebonnet, just to give you an idea what it looks like. This is our main campus. And we're going to be opening a new building. This will be the new building in July 2015. Dedication is in. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you today.
We intend to have time to answer questions, should you have any, once we've completed the presentations. Out of curiosity, how many in the audience are interested in the allied health or the medical sciences? Can you hold your hands up? Okay, well, I thank you all for putting up with dentistry up till now. We're going to switch gears, and we're going to be talking about those two areas, and we're going to start off with a little presentation from Dr. Abdulaziz Alisa, who is Associate Professor of Pharmacology, and he's the Program Advisor at Sacm. Dr. Alisa.
Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, I will talk about the pharmacy education in the United States, and I will focus mainly on the professional degrees, PharmD residency programs, and how to study the PharmD program, and then I'll talk about the equivalency of PharmD program in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the admission requirements for the PharmD as well as the residency program. We received a lot of questions in the cultural mission about the pharmacy degree and how to become a pharmacist. And the answer to that is that to be a pharmacist in the United States, you have to earn your PharmD degree or Doctor of Pharmacy from accredited PharmD program, and then get the pharmacy licensure exam. I want to pay your attention to one of the degree that is not recommended by Sacm and the Ministry of Higher Education, which is the BS in Pharmaceutical Sciences. This degree will not permit you to work as a pharmacist in the United States as well as Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the only degree that you can earn to practice pharmacy in the United States as well as Saudi Arabia is the Doctor of Pharmacy only. Doctor of Pharmacy actually started in the 1980s, and it became the only degree in 2004. So this figure shows that the number of enrollment in 2004 for the BS in pharmacy, it was 0 compared to 45,000 enrollment in the PharmD program. To study PharmD after high school, there are 3 options. The first option is the 4x4, in which you have to take a college degree for 4 years in any major: biology, chemistry, administration, accounting. And during this college degree, you have to take the pre-pharmacy requirement and keep your GPA above 3.0. After that, get the PCAT and apply to the PharmD program, which could be 4-year program. So the total duration of this program will be 8 years. Another option is the 2+4, in which you study the pre-pharmacy requirement and maintain your GPA above a 3.0, get the PCAT, and then apply to the PharmD program. The third option is the one that we preferred at Sacm, is to get a direct entry into the PharmD program, which is from 0 to 6. You get admission into the PharmD from the first year, but you have to maintain your GPA above 3.0 to stay in the program. And there is no need to get the PCAT, which is the pharmacy college admission test, to complete the degree. To apply to the PharmD program, there is a PharmCAS, or Pharmacy College Application Services, which is a centralized application services in which you can use one application to apply for a multiple PharmD program. To study PharmD after B Pharmacy, this is for the pharmacists who want to study PharmD. The reason, or the most common reason to study PharmD after B Pharmacy, is to get license, by passing the NAPLEX and the state law and then apply to the residency program. Some of the pharmacists, they enrolled in a PharmD program from 2-year program, but actually at the Saudi Arabian Cultural Mission and the Ministry of Higher Education, we don't recommend to do that because this will be considered as a repetition of the degree. So if you have a B pharmacy, you cannot study PharmD again because it will be considered as a repetition of the degree, as I will talk about it later in the equivalency of the PharmD. Also, some of the pharmacists with the B Pharm, they enrolled in non-traditional PharmD program. This program is not recommended by the Ministry of Higher Education because it's considered as a distance learning program. So it's not accepted by, or it's not recommended by the Ministry of Higher Education. So the question is that, is there any alternative way for the pharmacist to get a license and practice pharmacy and apply to the residency program? This table shows how you can get the license. As in the first part, if you have a PharmD from US program or ACB accredited program, you can get the license directly after you complete the program by passing the NAPLEX and the state law. However, if you don't want to go, or you don't want to apply to a PharmD program because it's not recommended to do that, you can get the FPGEC, which is the Foreign Pharmacy Graduate Equivalency Certificate. This certificate can be get by passing get the FPGEE, the equivalency exam, and the TOEFL. Then after that, complete from 1,500 to 2,000 internship hours, then apply or get the NAPLEX and the state law. This duration will take from 1 to 2 years. And we have agreement with 2 universities, the University of Arizona and Massachusetts College of Pharmacy, to accept the pharmacist with a B pharmacy or PharmD from Saudi Arabia to complete all of these requirements from 1 to 2 years. After that, they can get the license and apply to a residency program. Now I'll talk about the equivalency of the PharmD degree. It's a little bit complicated, and you might not like this kind of equivalency. The Ministry of Higher Education considered the PharmD as a bachelor degree. However, the Saudi Commission of Health Specialty considered this degree, the PharmD, as a master degree if you have a B pharmacy from Saudi Arabia, and then the duration of the PharmD program is more than 2 years. PharmD is not a PhD. And actually, we wish that the Ministry of Higher Education and the Saudi Commission of Health consider this degree as a first professional degree to practice pharmacy. So we wish that it considered as a degree by itself, and don't consider it as a bachelor, master, or PhD. Now I will talk about the postgraduate program or the post-professional, which is the residency program and the fellowship. Residency program required you have to be licensed by getting the NAPLEX and state law requirement. Also, there are 2 kinds of residency, the PGY one or the postgraduate year one, which is a general pharmacy practice program, and then the PGY2 specialized in pharmacy areas. The fellowship is from 2 to 3 years, and there are it can be research, clinical, or teaching. To apply to residency program, before that I will show you this table that showed the time to complete the residency program, starting from the Form D for the people or for the students who want to apply after high school. It takes from 9 to 10 years to complete the residency program. If they follow the 4+4 way, it will take from 7 to 8 years for the 2+4 way. It will take about 8 years for the students accepted in the 0 to 6 program. This is why we recommend them to enroll in this 0 to 6 program. For the postgraduate or the student with B pharmacy, it will take from 4 to 6 program if they repeat the degree or if they enrolled in Form D program, and it will take from 3 to 4 years if they just complete the internship and get the FPG requirement. To apply to a residency program, there is a website, or there is like application services, the Forecast, which is the pharmacy online residency centralized application. It's the same as the Forecast that we see for the Form D, but in this case for the residency program. It is a centralized application services for residency program in which you can use one application to apply to multiple residency programs. The admission requirement for residency and fellowship, you have to prepare your resume or CV, statement of purpose, official transcript, and if you have your transcript from Saudi Arabia, you have to do an evaluation of this transcript, 3 recommendation letters, and if you accept, before the acceptance, you might have to do interview with the hospital to get accepted in the program. Currently, we have a lot of affiliation with several hospitals and schools to facilitate the acceptance of the students in the Form D program as well as the residency programs. These are some websites that will be helpful for students who want to apply to Form D program as well as residency program. And if you need more information about the scholarship and the activities of the Saudi Arabian Cultural Mission, you can visit our website, sacm.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Elisa. I want to remind the audience that we will be, if there are any potential dental applicants, we're going to have one more dental presentation, but now it's my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Dr. Adel Bashata. Dr. Bashata has both an RN and a PhD. He's the assistant professor in nursing, College of Nursing in King Saud University. Dr. Bashata.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome everybody. My talk today is about nursing graduate studies at USA. The audience will be able to describe different types of nursing graduate degrees offered at USA, and also to understand the authenticated graduate degrees based on Ministry of Higher Education rules. The bachelor degree there, just one slide about the bachelor degree of nursing. Bachelor of Science is the most common degree at the United States. There are some other degrees like Bachelor of Art and Bachelor of Nursing, but the Bachelor of Science in nursing is the most common. It's about 4 years duration, almost or minimum 120 credit hours, and maybe higher in some universities. Usually focused on basic nursing skills and knowledge, and it's eligible for authentication from Ministry of Higher Education. At the level of master degree, Master of Science in Nursing is one of the master degrees authenticated by Ministry of Higher Education. Usually from 30 to 40 credit hours the study duration, almost 2 years, eligible also for authentication from Ministry of Higher Education. The study of the master, the level of the degree focus on the theory, nursing theory, research methodologies, administrations, educations, and practical training. Some courses in the beginning will be focused on advanced and assessment, pathophysiology, and pharmacology. There are some specialties under the Master of Science in Nursing. One of them is advanced practice and usually has many other subspecialties like critical care, adult nursing, pediatric, psychiatric, and maternity. Also, there is an education specialty under the Master of Science in Nursing, and also administration and management is one of the specialties. There is another one called Master of Nurse Practitioners, and we need to be more alert about this master, because designed in 1960s, and it's about 45 credit hours. It's more than the Master of Science in Nursing, focused on practice more than research. And it's applicable in the United States healthcare system, not yet recommended for authentication from Ministry of Higher Education, so we need to be careful for this Master of Nurse Practitioner thing. Some universities will offer MSN, which is Master of Science in Nursing degree, but focus on nursing practitioner. I think this is one of the opportunity for people who wants to focus on practice issue. For the doctorate level, we have the philosophy degree, which is PhD, most common degree at the United States. It's about 60 to 70 credit hours. Usually the first 2 years will be focused on courses, philosophy, research methodologies, policy and management, education and statistics. Then you have to pass the candidacy exam. Some universities will have one comprehensive exam after you finish all coursework, and some other universities may have two. The first one will be the preliminary exam, which is usually done after the first year, and the comprehensive exam after the second year. Then you have about 2 to 3 years for research activities to finish your dissertation. There are some other degrees at the doctoral level. The first one is called Doctor of Nursing Science, which is the least common degrees at the United States, but still some universities still have launched it or offer it. Focused on research and leadership role, eligible for authentication from Ministry of Higher Education, but the candidate maybe will not find this DNS as much as the PhD. The other one is called Doctor of Nursing Practice, which is newly accredited from the American Association of College of Nurses. And it's focused on practice and clinical leadership. Not yet recommended for authentication from Ministry of Higher Education, so we need to be careful when apply for this type of degree. Admission to the graduate degrees usually have to be English proficiency is very important, TOEFL or IELTS. Sometime high GPA will, minimize the TOEFL score at some universities. NCLEX, which is the state board exam at the United States, stands for National Council Licensure Examination. It's usually for nurses who graduate the BSN from United States. If someone apply to the American universities who had a BSN from countries outside the United States, he has or she has to pass the first one exam called CGFNS, which stands for Commission on Graduates for Foreign Nursing Schools. This exam is about English skills besides some basic nursing information. When you pass the CGFNS, you are eligible to apply for English exam, and if you pass the English exam, you can practice at the United States, and also it might support your application for admission. There are some tips just to mention. Find an authenticated degree, like the program, the degree, and the university, using the Ministry of Higher Education website, recommended universities. Check for the type of degree recommended from Ministry of Higher Education, as we talked about before, MSN or PhD. Choose the program or specialty you are interested in, like advanced practice if you want to focus on adult nursing, pediatric, and clinical practice. Nursing education will be focused more on education theories and how to design program and evaluate program outcomes. Nursing administration and management will focus on health service management. Some other tips: try to send request the application before deadline. Even not all documents are prepared. Start as early as possible preparing TOEFL and IELTS score. Think of NCLEX after securing admission, just to be in the safe matter. Remember that CGFNS is required for non-US graduate. If you prefer nurse practitioner, choose the Master of Science in Nursing degree that is focused on nurse practitioner specialties. And I think one of the university in my head now, University of Pittsburgh. Avoid DNP, the Doctor of Nurse Practitioner, for doctor level, because it's not authenticated yet from Ministry of Higher Education. Read about the USA information rules, immigrations, rules and regulations. Read about the American culture. Do not forget that you are a representative for your country. Thank you.
I'll say this, you know, the TOEFL is an important examination, but obviously communicating in English is extremely important in the health professions, because irrespective of whether you're in dentistry, nursing, physical therapy, medicine, pharmacy, you need to be able to interact with patients. And one of the things that impresses me so much is the quality of the English-speaking skills of so many of the people that we've met here. I can only think of if the roles were reversed, and how difficult those of us that are native English speakers, how much difficulty we would have learning Arabic. So I commend you for your mastery of English. Our next speaker is Dr. Hisham Al-Haidri. He actually trained in the state where I was raised, in California. He obtained his Doctor of Physical Therapy at Loma Linda University. Currently, he's at King Fahd Medical Center, where he is the Deputy Medical Director and Chairman of the Department of Physical Therapy. Dr. Al-Haidri.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to share this information with you. And just I would like to know if there is a lot of people who doesn't speak English, just raise your hand that I could drop something in Arabic. Anybody? Seems to be everybody is speaking English. So this is a marketing. I know there is mixed between a lot of specialty, so it will be nice that I will introduce to you something about physical therapy. Then the other half of my presentation will be about opportunity to study within rehabilitation. Allow me first just to introduce my hospital. I work in King Fahd Medical City. It is 1,200 beds capacity. It is a main concern and main core business. It is 4 hospitals and 4 centers. It is neuroscience, cardiology, cancer, children, and women health, and of course, rehabilitation hospital, which is 120 bed. We are in rehabilitation hospital, the first accredited CARF hospital outside of America and United States and Europe. We are also locally accredited Sabahi as well, the KFMC, and internationally JCI. Starting with my topic today, which is the physical therapy, all that picture you're going to see, it's within the rehab hospital in KFMC. Just to touch base on what is the physical therapy and the definition of physical therapy, it is a quality of life. It is a science of movement. It is the art of movement. This is the concern of physical therapy. It is about the ability and function throughout the lifespan. Quality of life and movement, we do usually give the intervention and prevention and treatment, habilitation and rehabilitation to our clients. The main concern today, which is requested from me to see the degree offered in the United States. So I will start from something that not below bachelor degree or diploma. So we'll start from the DPT, which is the entry level in the United States. That DPT, it is abbreviation of Doctorate of Physical Therapy as an entry level. Then they have master, I put it in red, I'm gonna talk about it, Y, post-professional DPT, and PhD, DSc in physical therapy. Before starting with the requirement, just to tell you about PTCAS, which is the Physical Therapist Centralized Application Services, is a service of the American Physical Therapy Association. And the good thing about this association or that center, you will use only single application and one set for materials to apply for multiple PT program. Starting with the physical therapy DPT, which is the degree of entry level in the United States now, it is designed for individuals who have no previous degree in physical therapy. But the requirement, you have to have at least bachelor degree in one of the major sciences to be admitted in that program. The official college, of course, transcript, you should submit it before being accepted. English competencies of TOEFL exam of score of 550 in written based, and 80 in internet based, 230 in computer generated. Some university will accept the IELTS 6.5 and above. Master degree, the requirement for the master degree, it's candidate to have international program, must have the coursework evaluated by an independent body of international evaluation services. Bachelor degree in physical therapy with GPA at least 3 and above out of 4. 3 letters of references, not any more letters now. Most of the university will send you an online application or for your referees to be filled. There is some number of credit and coursework needed to be submitted. GRA, not all universities will accept it. But about master and USA, now you will rarely find a master program in USA. Only I think 3 to 4 universities. I know Pittsburgh and Loma Linda. But those even programs, it is meant to be for international, because in the United States they will be within 2017 to accomplish the section of being decision to be only DPT. There is no more less than DPT to practice. Post-professional DPT, this is the most important thing maybe for our colleagues within Saudi Arabia, because if you have your bachelor and master and you wanted to upgrade your degree, you have to study the post-professional DPT. Usually it is 1 year only, and their requirement will be final GPA of 3 and above, and of course you have to evaluate your degree of the bachelor and master from an international services, independent one. And all candidates trained in the United States also, they have to submit their paper of commission of accreditation. Most of the program, they will require from you to be licensed within that state to practice and study the DPT. GRE, not all universities, they will require this. PhD and DSc, it's something new for this country, it's not new for United States, and it has been well known, and now everybody's talking about it, which is doctorate of science. It is more toward clinical than only philosophy of research. So it is equivalent, and a lot of people, they start to do it, and personally, I believe that we have to go to that direction because our nature of profession, it is clinical more than only research. Graduated for requirement, it should be graduated from an accredited physical therapy program. You have to have a master's degree in physical therapy or closely related field of the study, because in the United States there is no more master. Minimum GPA of 3, of course you have to be licensed within the state you're gonna do your work. An essay or proposal to do your PhD should be submitted before starting. GRE required in most of the universities. English competency, of course, you have to have it before being accepted within such a programs. I want to introduce another thing which is really important for us, and I know now that it's not been practical for Saudi, or it's not been practiced, because no single Saudi that I know now, they have a residency program. Yes, everybody wants to have the degree only, because still the residency and fellowship, it's not equivalent, it's not recognized by the Health Commission in Saudi. So that's why I usually tell to my staff they have to upgrade it and they go to the residency, because this is the way for subspecialties, and this is the way for hands-on, and this is what is the hospital and people who's practicing need to do. So if you have somebody that you know and from physical therapy, push them toward the residency more than any degree. Just to tell you that we have 11 PT undergraduate program now in Saudi, and I think there is more coming. From those 11, 7 already they have their output and they have their student graduated within the country. Just to share with you, this is in our Disability Day on the 3rd of December, and usually we celebrate it with our client or patient. And this is, they are our patient. They show their skills with using their wheelchairs. I'm going to move now to the second part of my presentation. Even I've been asked to talk about only physical therapy, but I find this is really great opportunity to market something need for the country. I am a bias to physical therapy, but I am biased more to the need of the country. I want to introduce to you to some of the rare specialty. Yes, if we have students here going or planning to go to study, the next 6 slides, I will show you some career profession that we don't have it in Saudi Arabia. You will submit your CV today. After graduation tomorrow, you will be recruited. Physical therapy, I'll give you an example. Yes, I'm biased to it, but every week I receive in my department 10 CVs because we are in Riyadh. While the others, and I need only 2 in the year. The others profession that I'm going to show you, none we have in Saudi. First one, occupational therapy. It's العلاج الطبيعي. We have only 1 program in Saudi. They didn't graduate anybody yet. And this is very important. Why? It is a quality of life. It is using the activity of daily living training to maximize independence. What do they do? Just to make it simple, because we have variety of people from different disciplines, physical therapy will teach you how to ambulate, how to move, how to strengthen your body. Patient after disability, or let's say stroke, jalta, they can't use their hand, and you teach them how to walk, to move. But who will teach them how to eat? Who will teach them how to write? This is now really needed. Occupational therapy, one of the career that we needed in this country. There is no single one in all the hospital of Ministry of Health. So if you have brothers, sisters, somebody is going to study, this is one of the area that we needed badly in the country. By the way, those pictures also in King Fahd Medical City. Prosthetics, orthotics, أطراف صناعية وأجهزة تعويضية. This is an art combined between medical and engineering. It's between paramedics and engineer. They are the people who deals with the habilitation and rehabilitation of impaired people. This is the prosthetics, which أطراف صناعية. They are the one who made the prosthesis. What is prosthesis? It's the artificial limb. And the orthosis, it is the one who made those orthoses, which is the supportive. As you could see in the picture, could be the lower limb or the upper limb. And by the way, this specialties, it's rare in all over the world. It's not only here. In all Arab world, we have one program only in Jordan. In example, in UK, in whole UK, there is 2 schools only in whole UK. So this is really very important, and it is needed badly in the country. Speech language pathology. By the way, this picture not in KFMC, just to apology. It's the only one. This is, again, we have a program, and we have speech language pathology, but with rare outcome from our university. And the weird thing here that you could bring somebody from United States to work in occupational therapy or speech, or from any place, or prosthetics and orthotics, from any place in the world. But in speech language pathology, you can't. You have to bring somebody who speaks the language. And not only the language of Arabic, they have to know the dialogue to teach people, because the main thing they are doing in the speech language pathology is to provide therapeutic intervention to treat speech, language, cognitive, and swallowing disorder. Swallowing, yes, anybody could do this, and it will be easier than not talking the language, but the other things, it has to be. And this is really one of the important things also, that it's highly needed in the country. Another specialty, assistive technology, تقنيات التأهيل المساعدة. And this is using the technology. It is high-tech now. Every day there is something different. Using the high-tech, the assistive technology for our patient to be independent. And this is very important for our client. Every one of us will have brother or sister or father that they will need something, even if they are not disabled with their geriatrics. Assistive technology could help a lot. I'll tell you one example of our patient. We received a patient with quadriplegic. Quadriplegic, it means he doesn't move upper limb or lower limb. He moved only his head. And he is an IT teacher. So we want that patient to go back to reintegrate in the community. We didn't leave him like this. And this is, we believe in rehab, this is our job, to bring that patient, that client, that individual to go back within the community. So this teacher, he was using only his head, nothing to do more. He using electrical wheelchair. So we were thinking with the assistive technology that what could we do for him? So we designed a ring with a rope for that patient, and we start to train him with the OT, with that rope, that how he used the keyboard. And we finished from him, he went back to his school and he became a teacher again with the help of the assistive technology. I put some picture here to show, and one of the things that we have about the assistive technology, that this is adaptive seating. What does that mean? Not all the wheelchair the same. Not all the seats should be the same. You have to adapt them to the need of the patient. Patient would have scoliosis, which is curved in their spine, ميلان في الظهر. They have to have different wheelchair if they are disabled. So you have to adapt it for them. Also we have, this is the assistive technology. You could use a lot of technology helping our disabled patient. And this is very important. To extent of my knowledge, we have only one gentleman who has master in assistive technology. And it's the entry level, it is master. Vocational rehabilitation counselor. This is very rare. This is called استشارة المهنية. What do I mean? As I told you before, we finish from our patient. We don't want our patient to go to their house and stay there. Imagine a young man, he was driving, then he had an accident, and then he developed spinal cord, so he's using wheelchair. This young man needs to go and work again. Everything has been changed for him. So we need somebody to help him with this one. And this is a specialty. Vocational rehabilitation counselor will go and assess the need, the client capability and limitation, and will go to the company and ask what is the need for the companies. And they will be matching it, working with the client to set a goal. That one, he could go or study. He needs somebody. We don't want people that we finish from them in the hospital and they go back and stay at home. We don't want people to go and work in a company because they will be counted for forced ID. We want them to go back and enroll in the community. Without having somebody to be dedicated for this position, we wouldn't do this. Usually it is a master's degree also. This is just to show you that there is an association here called Harakiyya. They do a wedding night for the disabled. This is the picture from the last one. It was 40 disabled in the same night. And I'm sorry to tell you a lot of information. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Al-Haidri. He made a couple of comments that resonated with me or struck me. It's quality of life. And if you think about the patients that actually we're all interested in helping, it's all about improving quality of life and interacting with each one of the various specialties, whether it be nursing, pharmacy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, dentistry for oral health and whatnot. We're all in it together. Okay, so now we want to have our last presenter. We're going to go back to dentistry, and we dearly want to have some time left for some questions and answers. So as I bring Dr. Shibli up, I would ask, how many of you have seen snow? A couple of hands have gone up. Well, Dr. Shibli comes from the place in the United States that is known for having about the most snow every year. Is that right? Yeah. So it'd be a great treat for you. You might get tired of shoveling snow, but for those of you that haven't seen it, go visit him.
First of all, I would like to greet you with a greeting of peace, greeting of love, greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be with you all. Secondly, my presentation was supposed to be after, within the dental program, but unfortunately, because of the downloading of our movies, my presentation, it was delayed to the end. So is there still some people interested in dentistry here, or? Okay, good. How about upstairs? Okay, great. So then I'm glad that you are still here. Secondly, I choose to show you a movie about our university, not to make a PowerPoint slide. The reason, because our school is similar to the schools that were presented before, with the slight difference. Mainly, we have 7 specialty programs that we accept international students, including Saudis, in these 7 specialty programs. Periodontology, prosthodontics, advanced education, general dentistry, oral pathology, orofacial pain, and oral medicine. Also, we have research degrees program, master degree in oral science, master degree in biomaterial, and master degree in orthodontics, and the PhD program. And as you apply, you will compete, of course, on these positions. We accept 1 international student in every specialty, and we signed agreement with the Saudi Cultural Mission as well as Taiba University for now. And the competition, I want you to understand, is that is as if you are weighting something. So your GPA weighs something, you add to it the TOEFL. If you got great TOEFL score, it will add to it, and you add to it your other activities like research activities, outreach programs, and things like that. We do not require for our specialty programs an American board. However, we require only for the PhD, we require the GRE. Okay, so we'll start first with. And it's, you should all be grateful to this opportunity to get scholarship to expand your knowledge. I mean, you are really lucky. When I went to the United States, I only have $500, no scholarship, but I was lucky to get. Anyway, this reminds me with the poem العلم يرفع بيوتا لا عماد لها والجهل يهدم بيوت العز والكرم. So increase your knowledge. Let's start with the first video. Oh, that's me. That's my wife with us in the scarf.
People who do and perform research, they challenge accepted concepts. They like to see how we can do things differently. If you look at the contributions the Buffalo has done to the science of dentistry today, it can rival anyone in the world.
The University at Buffalo School of Dental Medicine is a global leader in healthcare. Its reputation comes from decades of pioneering research in a wide range of specialties.
The opportunity for discovery within the field of dental medicine is enormous.
In the biomaterials program, scientists study the natural environment to develop innovative ideas for people.
If you would ask yourself why plaque sticks to your teeth, but not to the inside of your cheek, well, it turns out that the surface property on the inside of your cheek is exactly the same surface property as on the outside of a dolphin or a killer whale. And we're the ones who discovered that combination. We'll be able to open the drawer and take out the implant that will be fresh and clean and ready for placement in the patient's mouth. And what we would like to do is know how to use these properties in a practical way to have our dental repairs not get plaque on them, and yet have the dental repairs and the dental implant thing stick as hard as we can.
Researchers in the oral biology department were one of the first to uncover the link between oral health and overall wellness.
We're looking at the relationship of periodontal disease to systemic conditions like diabetes. And what we have found is that it's a two-way street, that if you treat periodontal disease in patients who have diabetes, their diabetes gets better. So we think that that's been a very interesting line of investigation over the last 30 years or so.
The UB Dental School is also working on new technologies, like artificial salivary glands for cancer patients and others who have lost their natural function.
I was a clinician first, so it really struck me how people suffering and there is no cure. But if, for example, we can make a gland, take your own cells, put it in a petri dish, grow a gland from your own cells, you will not have rejection.
Today we're looking at saliva as a fluid with tremendous potential, finding biomarkers in saliva that could indicate things happening in the body that we used to use blood and urine for before.
It was very intriguing to us to see whether we would find different bacteria in the oral cavity of a great ape.
It's stronger in the gorilla and in the chimp than in the human. Well, that's very interesting.
We were surprised to see that the saliva of both gorilla and chimpanzee are more similar to each other than to our human. I think we will learn a lot, not only about dental oral disease, but maybe about general medical infectious diseases.
All of this research is about really informing and strengthening the educational mission of the school. We can't really educate the dentists, the dental surgeons of the future without new research knowledge today.
The university has many industry partners studying treatments and products that will ultimately benefit patients.
And so people get these cold sores and they're really devastating, even though they're not life-threatening, but they certainly affect your quality of life. And so this study is underway now. We've enrolled over 80 patients already. Cold sore normally lasts 7 to 8 days. These people are getting cleared up within a day or two.
Research in the dental school is focused on excellence and discoveries that make a difference in our communities.
My own work has looked at bacteria that colonize teeth and how those bacteria could actually influence lung infection. This is a big problem, especially in hospitals and nursing homes.
We are looking at how we can affect global health. We have the expertise in the school, we have the willingness in the school, and we have the reputation.
So that's the research part, but also the service, the community, you know, the outreach programs. We all remember from our civilization that the first word was اقرأ, right? اقرأ, and Nabi Muhammad قال ما أنا بقارئ فضمه. So our civilization started with read, knowledge, and passion and care and love. So in one end, the mind, the other is the heart. So let's start the other one, the other video also. That show you our school activities and outreach programs as well to help the community. We opened several dental clinics in Turkey to help the Syrian refugees.
It's very simple.
And
we are
also
healthcare professionals
medical
that
field
happen to be
hospitals in Syria.
dentists. We have responsibility not only for patients' oral health, but for overall health and well-being as well.
Today we have all of our 400 dental students going out into the community, and those students will reach 20,000 or more kids in those schools.
I think it's been great having you be in our backyard. I think there's so much more that we can do as a community together.
The UB Dental School is absolutely phenomenal. They come in with such passion and enthusiasm and energy. So it's been a tremendous addition to improving quality of life, to addressing conditions of poverty.
A lot of people in these neighborhoods don't get proper dental care, and it could really affect the rest of their life.
A lot of people in the Buffalo area aren't even aware that the dental school is open to seeing patients. So having Give Kids a Smile Day really opens it up there, lets the public know that we're here to help them.
Well, this was a good option because our insurance company suddenly dropped our dental coverage.
This is a school that prepares individuals for the dental profession, hygienists and dentists, but they're also giving back, which is what is most impressive.
We are providing care for over 3,000 children every year in Chautauqua County. We expect that with this van we're going to improve the services, increase the services, as well as we are now also starting a program with the Buffalo school system.
How's that feeling?
The CARES program helped me immensely financially, especially. I don't think I'd be here without them, to tell you the truth. In healthcare, and certainly in dentistry, there are a lot of barriers. And through education, we can eliminate many of the barriers.
It validates why I joined this profession and hope to continue for the rest of my life.
Outstanding education, great dentists, very compassionate individuals. We need to keep that going.
Okay, so you know, that's the outreach program, and I want to mention that in collaboration with our school, Dental Medicine at Buffalo, and the Buffalo community, we were able to open 2 dental clinics in Turkey to help the Syrian refugee provide free dental treatment. And now, last week, we were able to provide medical field hospitals in the suburb of Damascus in collaboration with the University at Buffalo Dental School and the Syrian American Medical Society and our community in Buffalo. So knowledge, passion, hand by hand. Thank you very much.
Okay, we've got a few minutes for questions. We've got a good panel up here. We have people that can speak to dentistry. We have people that can speak to the medical sciences. So if we have some questions, please stand up, come forward, and state your question nice and loud so we can hear it. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to say welcome to KSA. And my question is regarding to the number of the positions you are, as dentistry, the number of the positions. You're accepting about from 2 to 5 positions every year. So how can I increase my chance to be accepted in these highly competitive, you can say, procedure? If I get all of the requirements ready, how can I improve my chance to get accepted in these universities? Thank you.
Why don't we, Dr. Mehta, why don't you take a stab at that?
Sure. Can you hear me? Good. So one of the ways that I tell all our candidates when they apply is that if you want to be competitive in the marketplace, what you need to do is understand the marketplace. The marketplace being that you're competing against the rest of the world. And so if you're interested in, say, I'll take perio because I'm a periodontist. If you're interested in periodontology, during the course of your dental training, try to do things in the field of periodontology, even if it's just a poster, a presentation, going to a research area that in perio. What we see when we look at people like yourselves applying, we want to see that you've tried to do things in that field that you're applying. It tells me that you're really interested in it. It tells me that you paid some attention to it. If you go to meetings, even if you're not presenting, but go to the meetings, be there. And when you then apply, we look at all of what you've done, not just your marks. The marks are important. Certainly if you have great marks but have not done anything else, that's also important. It tells us that maybe, you know, your interests are not specifically to that particular project or to that particular specialty. The other thing that I would also do is try to get yourself involved in internships, externships, summer projects, things like that, because under normal circumstances, students like to take time off, and we all understand that. But when you see a student who in their summer time off, or I don't know, here maybe winter time off, I don't know, but in your time off, if you're doing things pertaining to the subject, that also tells me your level of interest. And then whenever you apply, just as Dr. Needham said, you need to make sure that you apply to the individual. If there's a chairman of a department, put their name down and apply. And so it tells me again that you've taken interest in looking it up, not just you're throwing it out and saying, I hope I can get in, right? So those are things that will improve your chances. I think, of course, getting good grades, getting your clinical skills up and things like that are things that everybody should be doing anyways. Okay?
Dr. Shibley or Dr. Neenan, do you have something to add to that?
Well, I just wanted to say I distributed a table, and at our institution, you might notice, I think it's in the first or second column, we have 44 residency first-year slots in all 9 residency programs. We also have maybe 300 applicants to 400 applicants for every single residency program, a little bit, quite a bit less in dental public health because it's not the clinical specialty but an epidemiological based residency program. So I would agree that the more you can do to make yourself competitive, because you're competing with all of the other applicants in the United States and Canada who are applying for these positions. And I've been working with the Saudi students since 2010. By the way, they're a wonderful group of people. And I usually try to find out what they really want to do, what is their long-term goal, and then I often recommend that they try to do something that's based for a year in research. You have to have a leg up. And because if everybody just graduated from dental school, it makes it a little bit difficult. So if you have the opportunity to do research and to do really well, like the GRE, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 in the GRE. For the TOEFL, it's quite a bit different. Our minimum is 92 in some departments, 82 in others. So if you do national boards, and if you do all of those things and then get really good written records or really good in recommendations, and then when you go for an interview, you have to make your case on why you should be selected. And so I don't know if that answers your question or not, but I think that's basically what the situation is for all applicants in the United States.
I want to add quick things. You need to make your application distinguishable and recognizable from others. They all are good applicants, good grades, good TOEFL score. Also make sure you get good recommendation letters, because you need someone to talk about your history as a student, like what you have done. Research will help out, community service, it will help as well. Another one point, get direct contact with the program director after applying. You know, send them email. This will break the ice. They will you become familiar to them, but don't be pushy. You know, just send nice email to them. I like your program. You know, I want to be in your school. And then when we review, we remember those names, the program directors remember. So, all these to help together.
And I would say that advice probably applies to the other professions as well, nursing, pharmacy, physical therapy, and so forth. So those are good points. Another question?
Okay, you're welcome all in Saudi Arabia. I'd like to ask two questions. The first question, what should we write in the recommendation? Is it better to write to whom it may concern or to the program director himself? Secondly, to Dr. Shibli, if I apply for Master of Science for dental materials, is it better to, if I apply for Master of Science for dental materials? Okay.
Dr. Shibli?
No, I did not understand.
If I apply to Master of Science in dental materials.
Voice, looks like. Okay. Problem in the problem in the speaker.
Materials, dental materials, yeah. If I want to apply in prosthodontics, okay? If I apply in the Master of Science in dental materials before prosthodontics.
We can't
come over here.
We can't hear the question very well.
Yeah, it's not clear from the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, echo. There is a wrong in the echo. Come over here, or you can use mine.
Were you asking about the master's degree? What's required for the master's degree? Is that what he was asking?
I could not catch it. حدا سمعه؟ تعال احكي بالعربي. Come over here.
Yeah, come on down front. That's fine. Nobody's going to bite.
تعال تفضل.
If I apply, كويس.
يمكن أحسن.
If I apply, if I want to increase my chances in prosthodontic specialization, shall I apply for Master of Science in Dental Materials before application for prosthodontic residency program?
So you are talking about the sequence of applying.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So he was saying, if he applied to the master first, will it increase his chances?
So, question. If I understand your question, you want to apply to prosthodontics, correct? And you're saying that if you went into Masters of Science in Dental Materials, would it help your prosthetic application? I would say it would. I would say that if you're doing Masters in materials or in dental technology or anything that adds to the prosthetic criteria, it would certainly help. I think it would help at Tufts. I'm not sure how the other gentleman and the lady feel, but again, what it tells me is that you're trying to do things in addition to just the prosthetics aspect of it. It will make your application better. Is that?
First of all, what I would say, apply to the combined program right away, like certificate, specialty, and master degree. You never know, how things will turn out. So let's say a person was not accepted, right? Then you need to increase your chances. Here you have to insist. How are you going to increase your chances? For example, apply to master degree. Get the master degree. Do more research. Build your CV even more. To repair, for example, probably some of the shortcoming in the dental degree with like GPA not strong enough. So yes, you can do other stuff to increase it, but we have to remember nothing guaranteed. We cannot make deals by saying, do this, we will accept you. Just improve it, and in many occasions, these kind of approaches were successful and helpful in acceptance.
مبتعث من التعليم العالي ولا
Okay,
مبتعث من جهة حكومية؟ مبتعث من التعليم العالي أو جهة حكومية؟
جامعة.
من جامعة, okay. لأن sometimes التعليم العالي you cannot get master then residency program. You have to take one degree only.
We actually have people up in the balcony. So up in the balcony, you have a question. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Samira Sailani. I'm from King Abdulaziz University. My question is, why GRE for medicine and dentistry graduate? We have highly qualified graduates who are competent in English, and they got nice recommendation letter from us, and good personal statement which we can advise them with. But why GRE? What is it add to them to start their postgraduate program? We don't have this in the UK.
Okay, the question is, why is a GRE required by some programs?
Well, at our, I don't know if I can answer the question of why. What I can say that all of our programs that offer master's degrees like periodontics, prosthodontics, endodontics, they require that you have the GRE. If also, because if you're not if you're graduated from a non-CODA accredited, non-commission on dental accreditation accredited dental school, you have to complete the GRE. And I believe that the sense of the residency directors is that we're not familiar with your educational system, and that is our problem, but we're learning. So I would encourage you to ask the individual residency directors, but I noticed on all of the application forms, they all say the exact same thing. So it's apparently a standard that has been set in order to be able to help us evaluate applicants who didn't graduate from a CODA accredited dental school.
My advice, talking about GRE, first of all, I want you to understand that although American schools and universities are there is a lot of great similarities, but there are some differences. And so you need really to go to the website for every single school and look carefully to the requirements. You do not need to miss. Sometimes I see some people rejected just because they missed on what is required in the application. Okay, make sure you study it really good. Second point, for example, in our school we do not ask for GRE, only TOEFL for all our programs except the PhD. Those who will apply to PhD, we require GRE beside the TOEFL. Why? Because our experience with international students that they do not have enough experience in research. So we need something to prove that they can do research. So one thing is, beside the history, their history of study is the GRE. But all other certificate programs or master programs, we do not require GRE.
I think that the answer also is why the GREs. I think if you look at a master's or an MS degree, which is a Master of Science, it's also the same Master of Science type degree, even if it's not a dental school or if it's any other school. So even in the undergraduate, an MS degree requires that you need some background in basic science, in basic research areas. And so we normally have a 4-year curriculum in undergraduate or pre-doctoral type curriculum. You have a 2-year curriculum. So we don't know how much you have background of sciences before you come to dental school, and that's one of the reasons why some of our programs require that.
We have time for one more question, if there is another question out there. Up above? Yes.
Yes, I'm Hadila Najjar from Riyadh College of Dentistry and Pharmacy, newly graduated dentist. I want to ask about the board program in the US. If there is a board program for board student, or we have only masters?
Are you asking the dentist, or are you asking the
Yes, any specialty in dentistry. Ortho, for example.
I don't think I understand the question.
Do you have an board program for foreign student or only master?
A board program?
I did not understand the question. Do you have a foreigner program? What?
Board program for foreign students.
Are you asking, are there dental programs?
American board program.
American board.
Oh, American boards.
But I don't know.
Your question was not clear.
Okay.
Our programs for both Americans and international students the same.
Okay.
We don't have special program for foreigners. You will get the same degree like the American student will get.
I mean, I can go to board directly, or I have to start with master, then board.
The boards, for the boards, yes. Right. For the, if you are asking about the board, American board, like in the specialty itself, yes, if you are accepted in the specialty program, which is like usually 3 years a program, by the end of this program, you will be board eligible. So that means you can take your boards and be American board certified in your specialty, whether it is perio or ortho, or any other specialty. And many Saudis, after they finish their graduation, they stay a few months to take their final boards in their specialty.
It's only exam, or it's an exam for board?
It's
yes,
usually,
there is, for the boards, usually with any American board is 2 parts. One is written exam, and if you pass the written exam, then you apply for, if it is ortho, you have to submit your ortho cases. And there will be another interview exam where they will discuss your cases, why you did this kind of treatment. So it is 2 parts, written exam and oral exam that comes after passing the written exam. And usually there are a few months after each other. It's not like one after the other. So it is 2 parts, board part 1, board part 2. Written exam, oral exam.
Okay, thank you.
I hope we answered your question, and I'm sorry to have to cut this off. Time out. We have to end. We were supposed to finish up 15 minutes ago. I think a take-home message for us is if we do this again, we need to talk less. We need to hear from you more. So if we're back again, we'll remember that. Let me thank Dr. Mehta, Dr. Elisa, Dr. Bashata, Dr. Shibli, Dr. Neenan, and Dr. Al-Haidri. Thank you all so much, and thank all of you for coming and for your interest. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of you who still have some